Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to remove the inner CV boot on the Mk1 Audi TT. So back at the TT again, you can see here there's a lovely big split into the CV boot. So yeah, today's job is to replace this. So obviously the first job was to remove the entire drive shaft. So we got that out, and obviously you can see I have a big giant rip. Blah, blah. So yeah, now that the drive shaft's removed, we're going to take off the lid here and remove my ability to speak. Blah. Okay, so after a bit of violence, we managed to hit the top off. And now we're going to, I think there's a circlip just in here. We're going to take off the circlip and then get in and remove the boot. So I have a new boot just here, it's all packaged up, and even a new end cap. And now with only a modest amount of swearing, I got the circlip removed. Give it a few gentle taps with a hammer, and out it comes. Okay, so it's gone through the parts washer and it's as clean as I'm going to get it. And so now, time to get some lube it up, and then it's ready to slide down the shaft. Okay, so while my hands are still clean, I'll just point this out. So there's loads of grease on this side, which is the underside, which is the side that goes into the gearbox. And there's no point putting any grease in here, because this is basically just an overflow. So as much as you can, pack it a few times. So maybe, I have half of it there used up. I'm going to pack that now into the balls, and then afterwards I'm going to use the rest of it and pack it again to make sure that all the grease has gone fully through the balls and through the race. And there's no point really shoving extra grease in here, because this is where the extra grease is going to go anyway. So any grease that isn't lubricating is basically just going to slide down here. It's like a reserve, but there's no point putting it in a reserve unless you actually fill the actual race and the balls and the actual entire bearing itself first. So I'm going to work that now in and then lube it up again. Okay, so the old boot was removed and the new one is installed. So there's a huge difference between quality. So this is an OEM one, this is a Spurious one. If I had known the quality was going to be so bad, I would have just bought the genuine one or OEM one. If you are going to replace them, just go to Audi, just buy the right one. Now, there's nothing wrong with these. They're just a pain in the arse to get on, where this one would have just made it. It's built for it, it's designed for this drive shaft, so it would have just gone on first time. Where this is kind of this will do a few different ones. The plastic or the rubber is a lot thinner. There's a joint here where the original one was just solid, it didn't need one. Yeah, so there's about four spaces or zigzags, say, or up and downs. This one has a good few more, but also the actual outside diameter, so this one here, it would actually just fit onto the lip that's just here. This one, it was too big, and that's the outside, and it's just too big and it doesn't fit, so I had to go to the next size down. And yeah, it goes on now, like it's just nice and tight, it's not going to come off. But I think next time I just go buy the OEM ones. I did debate whether to cut this or not, and decided not to go near it, just simply because, well, I hope now the bolts will go in, but if I did cut it, it might just start fraying and then rip all the way back, and then I'd be back at square one. So just going to leave that alone and not go near it. I have the cap back on. I used the OEM cap rather than the one they gave me. Not that there's a huge difference, but you can see this goes up at quite a tight angle, where the original one, get out the device in one go, it was more of a softer curve. So I think maybe just going into the gearbox, well, I know this one fits, where this one, although it's so close to it, I think there's just too much of an angle there. And as I don't want to make the job harder, so I just use the original one. There's nothing wrong with it. So going to install that now. So that's the drive shaft rebuilt. Not a whole lot to it. It's literally just knock the old one off, knock the old boot on, put a new boot back on, wash out, clean out, and repack this one with grease. So easy enough job to do. Just buy the OEM ones. The spurious ones really aren't worth it. I don't know what the price is. I don't know how much of a difference. I think this was like a 10 or 12 euros. So unless the OEM ones are like 60 or 100 euros, it's not really justified. I don't know what the original price would be of the OEM ones, but anyway, they're all locked on. How do you lock on these? Well, you get them on as close as you can to being tight. Then I use one of these, which is just like I suppose a nail pullers or whatever you want to call it. And just put it either side, give it a squeeze, and it's nice and tight. And that's the easiest way I find. You can use pliers and you can use other stuff, but you have to be really careful you don't like snap them. They are stainless steel, so like these ones were hard, but I've gone to other ones, and if you're not careful, you could actually just snip them off. So yeah, it's all rebuilt. Let's install it back into the car. And if by magic, the drive shaft is now all back installed. So thankfully, no more rip. Everything is back installed, and all the bolts are snugged up. So delighted with that. So guys, thanks very much for watching. Yeah, it's a bit of an annoying job, but it wasn't too hard a job. We got it finished in the end. So thanks for that. Obviously I didn't take this job too seriously. If you want to watch a really good video, there's loads of good videos out there. So there's another guy called Andy Charger, and he does a video on changing the boots as well, and he goes into loads of details. So if you want to watch his video, I'll leave a link to his video in the description down below. So if you do like these videos, give me a thumbs up, subscribe over there, and I'll see you next time.